Hello. Today we're going to discuss how to E-rate and e-contract using Portfolio's online contracting portal. Begin by logging into your Portfolio account and clicking on the online contracting icon. This will take you to the Select Rating Parameters screen. The online contracting portal is available for the automobile, RV, and powersports industries. For today's demo, we are going to be rating an automobile. Under dealership information, you will also need to select the dealership name. If you have the ability to contract for several dealerships in a group, please be sure you are selecting the correct dealership from the dropdown. Under vehicle information, please enter in the vehicle purchase price, the purchase date, the odometer at the time of sale, the unit condition, which this particular VIN is a 2021 Jeep Wrangler, which is used, the manufacturer in-service date. We recommend, if you are not sure of the official in-service date, using July 1st of the model year. So we will use July 1st of 2021. The finance instrument is also required. It's going to default to finance contract, as this is the most commonly used. However, you can also choose lease and cash. The last section is only to be utilized if you are selling a gap or deposit protect contract. These options for finance term and finance amount further help filter out the rates. I'm going to leave these blank though, because I will be demoing a service contract today. Once all the information is entered, click continue. You will be taken to a screen where at the top, it's going to list the vehicle that you entered. So all of the information about it, the VIN, make, model, etc. It's also going to list the dealership you're rating for in the upper right-hand corner. I do suggest looking at this and verifying it's the correct dealership once again, just to make sure that the customer is being contracted at the dealership that they purchased from. The bottom portion of the screen is eligible premium. So these are all the rates associated with this dealership. As you can see, there are 641 rates. If you wanted to help filter this out, we highly suggest clicking on the filter rates button. This is going to allow you to filter by several different options. I'm going to choose service contract and a 60-month term. As you can see, though, there are several other options: coverage, deductible, multiple ones for you to choose from. Click continue once you've picked all the rating options that you'd like to filter by. This now has only given us the service contracts with 60-month terms. You'll see here, though, that each row gives you the exact rate that you're selecting. So the coverage option, the terms, the miles, the dealer costs, and the retail costs. So the retail cost is going to show differently from the dealer costs if there is a retail markup included in the pricing. Sometimes they could be the same, though, if there isn't an additional retail markup. If at any point in time you need to update your VIN or any information about the particular vehicle, you can click on modify rating parameters, and that's going to take you back to the screen that you were just on, but it's going to pre-populate all the information you have already typed. If you need to rate for a completely different vehicle, you would click on new quote, and that'll take you back to the previous screen, but everything will be blank for you to start over. You can also click on export rates if you'd like an Excel of all the rates that are available for this particular dealership. So at any point in time, if you needed that, you can click that option. So moving forward, we did decide that we want to rate a 60-month contract. So I'm going to pick exclusionary plan E for a 60-month, 100,000 mile contract. When you're ready, you will click on create registration. On the create registration screen in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see all the information about the pricing that you selected. So double check that you wanted this deductible, this term, make sure all this information is correct. If so, then you're going to move on to the F&I information. If you have an F&I number, enter that there. Your name as the finance or sales manager, whoever's entering this in, your name is required. So if you don't enter that in, the system will yell at you that that's required field. Moving over here to the buyer information, we're going to enter in a test account here. So just test. If you have Google Chrome or a web browser that remembers information, hopefully if you've entered it before, it'll remember the address. If not, enter in your address, phone number, all the contact information. The email address is required. The customer number is not, but if you want to enter that in, you can. Once again, much like the F&I information, any of these other fields, if you forget to enter a piece of information that's required, once you go to complete the registration, it is going to remind you of the required fields. So enter in all the buyer information, and then moving on to the vehicle information, it's going to populate with the information you put on the original rating parameter screen. So the purchase price is $28,000, and in this case, it's a used vehicle. The next section is going to be for finance information. As you can see, I'm starting to type Chrysler Capital. This system was designed to compile many of the most commonly entered options for lien holders. So you'll see there were several different Chrysler Capital options. These all could have varying addresses as well, but it is a nice way for you to select one of the lien holders and not necessarily have to enter in all of the contact information. So this is a training site. You will see in the live site, this will populate much faster. But as you can see here, the street address, city, state, and zip code did pre-populate. If you select one of these and you notice that the address is different, this is a free-form field, so you can update it at any time. So it's completely up to you if you want to enter in the address every time, or if you want to select one of the pre-selected options. So that's going to be the financing information section. The agreement information is going to be all about the customer contract. So the system will assign the form that goes along with that rate, so the customer contract number, as well as the customer form number. You're also going to see an agreement number that is automatically assigned from the system. So once you put this through, this agreement will be associated with the customer. The stock number you can enter in if you'd like. So I'm going to put one in here. The effective date is going to default to today's date. You do have a calendar here. If you need to post date in the future, you can certainly do that. There's also payment plan. So if this contract's going to be through service payment plan or PayLink, one of those, you would go ahead and select yes, and that's going to notify to our contract administration team that this will be through a payment plan. And that way they will expect additional documentation from the payment plan paperwork. The last section is going to be surcharges. As you can see, hybrid surcharge for $150 has already been applied. Our system was able to decode the VIN and realize it was a hybrid vehicle. Hybrid surcharges are automatic on this particular rate for the Portfolio 1 service contract, so it's automatically applied. There are several other surcharges that are optional. So if the customer already had a lift kit, for example, you could choose the 3-inch to 4-inch lift kit, and you'll notice that our system will then add the $400. So it's tallying the $150 plus the $400 for a $550 additional surcharge total. Moving back up to here, you're going to get an F&I summary. It's going to give the base cost of the rate, which in this case was $1,248, plus the surcharges that were just applied at the bottom to give you a total dealer cost of $1,798. From here, we highly recommend that you click on the download view agreement PDF. This is just going to give you one last effort to make sure that everything pre-populated appropriately on the contract, that you didn't accidentally type the first or last name incorrectly. Just one last time for you to look everything over. If it looks good, you can then click complete registration. Upon doing that, you are going to be taken to a registration successful screen. Once the screen has popped up, you are now done contracting the contract for the customer. You can download a copy by clicking the download view agreement PDF. So that way you can save it for your records or print it out if necessary. From here, it can then move on to your office team to remit the contract accordingly. This now concludes the end of the online contracting portal demonstration. Thank you so much for your time.